Hello, it's History Boy, and this is the penultimate episode of this week's Fun Facts with Liam. Overall, episode 93, and scene is scene is nothing really. It'll all you might notice a slight theme going on with this week, maybe. That's all I'm going to say about that. But this is about the Moors, the uh, the the Muslim tribe of people. I think yeah, you can call it a tribe. Yeah, let's use the word tribe of people that um are notorious for making the Mediterranean in the late Dark Ages and early medieval era. Um, you know, more I guess quotations mixed race than it was kind of seen as. Especially, I think the kind of the fact of that kind of thing was probably washed away by like Renaissance, you know, uh, painting stuff and scriptures. But um, what's interesting about the Moors is, I mean, they're seen as, by still a lot of people, as like just black, primarily black Africans. But it isn't as clear cut as that. Um, they themselves, they went on to interbreed into to in not sound crude, but insert themselves into the bloodline of a lot of the Mediterranean, Spain, um, Italy, parts of Portugal, um, maybe maybe bits of France, maybe, but we history buffs out there will know the story of Charles the Hammer Martel and all that kind of stuff. Um, which also isn't as clear cut as him just being heroic and beating them. Um, there was another French military leader who was the subject of another fun facts episode, and I'll put that in actually. That I can't remember offhand, but he was defeated by a Moorish military commander. The Moors themselves, primarily known as being all dark skinned black African Muslims. It's not, like I say, I keep saying clear cut, but it isn't really as clear cut as that. They themselves were the the result of various nomadic peoples interbreeding and trading. Um, and not only were they a mix of North African black Africans, they were also the result of Arab Berbers. So you get people that probably look more like Saladin at that time, and also whatever they called Portuguese people primarily. So before Portugal was a thing, Portuguese had been already travelling around, establishing trade routes. Uh, you know, nearby but not that nearby at the same time. Crossing over into North Africa. Um, yeah, the Moors were already, I guess you could say, on a genetic level, ethnically diverse. Before, you know, even at least 200 years before they swept into Spain, Italy, etc., southern Italy, etc. So yeah, um, yeah, I looked over my fun facts and I noticed that I checked it over like 3-4 times, and I thought, I hope I'm not parroting what I've already put. But I already brought it up in a discussion on a forum on kiwi farms. So I was trying to make sure that I also didn't do a previous video about that very fact, about this very fact. And I haven't until this episode, so, and I thought it was quite interesting. So yeah, not much else to say. Not really much else to say on the Moors' interesting ethnic background, where you know they're not whitewashed, but they're also not completely fully black either. At least not background wise. But they would have been seen as, you know, um, probably a black person in comparison. So yeah, that's basically it for the penultimate episode of this week's Fun Facts with Liam.